I did it!
This is me on top of Steinfell's dome after I crushed the route of Sinocranium. This was my first multi-pitch. What a view. Insert a scream here. Woo!
Try not to get
Alright, that was hella cheesy, but let's go back a bit and explain this route and how I got here. But first, let's cue the dramatic intro.
All right, I'm gonna take a whipper, okay? Falling.
Alright, that was pretty dope. But let's get back to the climb of Sinocranium. I'm gonna walk you through the beta. According to Mountain Project, Sinocranium is a 6-pitch, 650-foot, 5/8 sport climb. However, we did it in 4 pitches by linking some of the pitches together. The description of Sinocranium on Mountain Project is, the route itself has 2 distinct styles on it. The first 4 pitches and the last are slabby and relatively easy. Pitch 2 is the hardest of these slabby sections and works right of a roof band. Pitches 4 and 5 can be combined if desired. Pitch 5 climbs up the vertical quartz vein for 60 feet. The final pitch, no pro after the last set of anchors, is more of a scramble to gain the summit than a climb. Pitch 1, very easy ground to first set of anchors. Pitch 2, long pitch, go up and right around and overlap and move upward to second set of anchors. Pitch 3, another long pitch on moderate slab. Pitch 4, short, easy slab pitch to get to the base of the headwall, 3 bolts plus anchor. Pitch 5, crux pitch, very well protected vertical climbing. Pitch 6, short pitch, 3 to 4 bolts followed by some scrambling hiking to the final anchors. Summit, hike, scramble to the top. Look for descent route in the gully between the peaks to climber's right. Protection. Sinocranium has bolts and plenty of them. Bring up to 16 draws for this route, but one can climb it with less if you don't mind passing bolts by. It has double bolt belay stations all the way up. 2 60-meter ropes are required to descend the route via the belay stations, not recommended. From the summit, find the rappel station at the top of the northeast gully. The second set of anchors is on the left when looking out down. 2 rappels with 2 60-meter ropes is possible with 3rd, 4th class down climbing, but a 70-meter is recommended. Note, it is possible to rappel the descent route in 2 rappels with 1 60-meter rope if you're comfortable scrambling easy 4th class terrain, unroped for safely to 2nd class terrain on a single 70-meter. At the end of the second rappel, you must unrope on easy 4th class terrain, and a short scramble leads to an easier 3rd class scramble down a slab. From there, contour back around the rock back to the base of the climb. On the second rappel, it would be possible to rappel off the ends of the rope. not the ends of your rope. A 70-meter rope mitigates the concerns on the second rappel somewhat, but not completely. Whether you use one or two ropes to rappel, take care not to snag your rope on the mini scrubs and bushes in the gully. After reading this beta, it sounds like you should bring a 70-meter rope, and we did, and the rappels were no big deal. Alright, we're going to look at some pictures of the climb to get an idea of what it's like. Alright, here you can see the route of Sinocranium, so let's zoom in on that. Now you can see the 6 pitches. You can see the start, and you can see it winding up to the vertical pitch up there all the way to the top. It looks pretty straightforward, and it's bolted all the way to the top. Plus I'm going with someone that's done it before and knows what they're doing. Shouldn't be too bad.
Climbers were getting more and more risky because the gear was better and being more and more willing to take falls.
Yeah. I decided to not bring anything. I was thinking about bringing a little camelback or something so I have water. Doing the tradition of touching the sign for good luck. Taught to me by my dad.
Yeah. So they call it Sinocranium because the route goes right over the nose and then over the forehead. Someday I'd like to explore this species I see to the right. There's no beta or info for any routes on it, but
Really?
I've heard rumors that people have climbed it.
Definitely looks climbable.
This is Ryan, by the way. He's showing me the ropes of how to climb, and he's going to guide me through my first multi-pitch.
Yeah. Okay. I want to try the first pitch because I feel like that will be the least scary one. And that'll get me kind of in the zone.
I didn't realize this at the time, but after watching this video, I'm kind of nipping hard here, aren't I? Also, all that heavy breathing is kind of showing how out of shape I am. Man, I need to work out harder. The first obstacle of the climb was overcome, the cave. We finally arrived at the base of the climb and there were some dudes climbing before us, so we had to wait a little bit. These guys also free soloed the first pitch, but you could practically walk up it. Actually, sorry, correction here. The lead climber free soloed the first pitch, but the follower looks like he's climbing with the rope and he's protected.
It's a judgment call whether simulclimbing is faster or not. Let's go faster. Is that the end of the pitch? Oh, maybe it is. Maybe. I brought it. That's okay.
Throughout this video, you'll often see me using the selfie camera on my phone to double check that my GoPro is recording. You'll also get to see a lovely picture of my wife on my wallpaper. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna bring one just in case. I usually don't eat breakfast, and I usually don't eat till like noon. So that's why I'm just like... Yeah, I'm an intermittent faster, but so what? I'm still kind of fat. Okay, there we go. Gotta get my harness on and get ready for rock climbing.
I have a small amount of water in here. Just feel like you need water, I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna drink a little bit more water before I go, just in case. So since we have other people climbing this route, do we let them just like climb the, when do we start when they're, like at what point do we start when they're, you know what I'm trying to say? Okay. So you don't have to wait till they climb the first pitch? Alright, after listening to me stumble around with my words, I want to point out that the video is a little bit out of order because those guys were in the previous video and they'd already made it up the first pitch. This is us just getting ready. I have this handy dandy tether to protect my phone. It's a great idea. I love the invention. I think we might have to call this channel Magic Walls Falls and a bit of heavy breathing, if you know what I mean. Okay. They opted for the radio option there.
It's a double lake. A little bit of Sinocranium.
Okay. Okay, let's see. Just to let them get ahead of us. Is that what you're saying? All right, I'll just take my time then. These are my brand spanking new quick draws that I'm stoked to use on this climb. Do you usually put it like this, where this to your harness is to the wall, so you can do that?
I put the skates in, but it really doesn't matter. Some people clip skates out.
Or I guess what I mean is I clip the side that goes to the wall on my harness here so that I can go like that. And this first pitch, we only need like 12 draws, huh? Nothing more. I read somewhere that for some climbs you need more than 12. I often refer to this man as Ryan Sensei because he's become a bit of a climbing sensei for me, and he's taught me a lot. He is a wealth of knowledge, and I am very appreciative of all the knowledge that he has bestowed upon me. Man, that was a mouthful. So this is the length of sling you'd want to use for alpine draw, huh?
Yeah.
Is it single length?
You only need to extend these if the route seems to be wandering.
Okay.
Ideally, in order to reduce drag, if you're going to be doing a full rope's length, you keep the rope moving in a straight line. So you kind of just look ahead and see where the next couple bolts are.
Uh-huh.
So like sometimes one bolt will be over here.
Okay.
So then if you go up here right here, and maybe the one that's over here, you extend it so that it keeps the rope running in a straight line.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Extend the rope.
So do I need to bring this with me, or should I just leave it?
I don't think you need it.
Okay.
As long as you bring it.
Yeah, I don't think I'll need it either. Where's my non-water that I'm going to use? exactly where the non-locker is. Man, there's a lot to keep track of in climbing. You have to keep track of all your carabiners, quick draws, runners, passes, etc. and other doohickeys. Man, talk about a heavy cognitive load. I'm gonna get hydrated. So most people don't climb with their socks, do they?
It depends. Old school climbers used to always climb with their socks, but they had different kinds of shoes back then. You can get a tighter fit if you don't wear socks. So it's just personal preference. I like my shoes.
I personally wear socks because my feet are absolutely disgusting. My wife can attest to that. You don't like it super, super tight? Or you like it super tight?
I have a pair of shoes that are my bouldering and hard sport climbing shoes that are pretty tight downsize.
Uh-huh.
They're not super aggressive.
I like to say that we feel like two gladiators getting ready for a battle, but really we're just two idiots that are about to climb a really big rock. Yeah. The anticipation was killing me, and I was getting ready to be on that wall. Get used to the pain.
Generally speaking, though, I would say that if your shoes are painful to climb in, then they're too tight or too aggressive.
Yeah, that makes sense. Finally, it was our turn to climb Sinocranium on Steinfell's dome. Okay. Is that the Crux up there, or is that something else?
The Crux pitch is way at the top.
Can you see it from here with your eyes, though?
Yeah.
It's at the very top.
Yeah.
So that must be farther than it looks.
Yeah. Yeah, as you go around the corner, you have a pretty long slab to go up to.
Ooh la la, look at that man flake that rope. My wife often tells me that Ryan is my amor verdadero, but she's actually my amor verdadero because, sorry Ryan, I'm not into men. but I do appreciate everything you've taught me. Yeah.
But I'm also not building an anchor or bringing the rope up. The most likely scenario is I'm just waiting for the other group to get going.
That makes sense.
Just be patient if that happens. Don't hurry.
I feel that. While I'm nervously tying my knot, my first multi-pitch climb is about to begin. Wish me luck, y'all.
And do you see your first bolt?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I'm learning this thing. Do you see the red light flashing?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, sweet.
I can't see it when my shades are on, but when the shades off, I can see it.
All right.
Come on.
On belay. Belay on. That first bolt's that one right up there, right?
Yeah.
Clipped. The next bolt's over there. So these ones aren't spicy. Can't say I've ever climbed anything where I'm basically walking up it, but this was my first experience with that on this super slabby section.
All right, off belay. Sweet. so this side's the climber. This side's the belayer. Climber, belayer. All right, on belay. Up rope.
I hadn't really practiced much rope management before this, so I was kind of just learning as I was going along, which might not be the greatest idea, but I learned a lot during this whole process.
Definitely struggled with the rope management here. That was hard. Is it okay to belay like this? Because I'm like pulling on it like this. Is that okay, or is that not standard procedure? Because I just always keep one hand on the brake, but it allows me to have more force.
Yeah, what we're learning today are the basic essentials, but there's these exceptions to the rules. Well, some of the rules. And sometimes when you have a really slabby pitch like this with a slabby anchor,
Yeah.
sometimes it's easier to belay.
And with Ryan approaching the anchor, our first pitch was nearly done.
But, all right. Generally, it's better to go ahead and let go.
Off belay then?
Take me off belay for that.
Okay.
Belay off the next pitch.
You got all the draws? Okay.
I've never taken the little take the lid off.
That looks correctly, right?
Uh-huh.
That's a handy tool. You can tie that real fast. Do you sometimes just use that without even a PAS? Or do you always remake it redundant?
No, I still just use that. Really always do
There we go. Belayer side, climb. Yep, you're good. Climb on. We'll see how good my rope skills were here.
I'm going to climb over the top of the anchor here.
Okay. Funny how this wasn't as hard as I thought. In my mind, I had it way harder. Oh, I was more talking about the transitions with the anchor system. Okay. so I see where that next guy is. He's still on the anchor, so I could actually probably see you with this next pitch. Right. And that's where you want that alpine draw. I see that now.
Racking these back up, you can do what works best for you. I usually just put them around my shoulder.
Okay. Yeah, I might do that. Kind of like what we're doing with the trad gear with those nylons. Just put them around your chest. awesome up here. I like it. Yep, that was good. That was a lot of fun. Okay.
Alright, you in?
Yeah.
Take you off the way.
Sweet. Oh, so what that is, that's
just an overhand on the right, but it's a knot that if for some reason you fell before getting in and the assisted locking didn't work, I can go hands free because the knot will catch in the system.
Oh, I gotcha.
Knot catches in the case of catastrophe. Right. Draw somewhere.
I can. Oh, you can have me just lead this next pitch? Oh yeah, it's my turn to lead, duh.
Yeah, you're okay with that?
Oh, absolutely, I can lead it.
So there's, what I'd prefer to do is combine the next two pitches, so it'll be a full length rope. It'll go all the way to the base of that head wall.
Okay, so
above us.
Should I skip any bolts?
If you want to, you can. You don't have to.
Or if I just use all the bolts, we have enough.
You have
we
enough.
have enough equipment.
Be able to clip everything.
Okay,
You'll pass if you combine two pitches. You'll pass one anchor.
Should I take these ones off your harness too?
Yeah. Let's see.
I know, for real.
I think I'd never get it wrong, but apparently I just did, because I checked it and I was like, that's not right.
Well, I'm glad you checked it before I climbed.
Okay, you got all the draws.
I have all the draws now?
You got stuff to build another anchor.
Sweet.
Yeah, whenever you're ready, I'm up to pass and climb on. I would probably extend the first 2 holes here, because there's kind of that wavy section.
So use the alpine draws?
Yeah, so I'd use those alpine draws and extend them out of the first 2, maybe the 3rd one.
I'm off my PAS, by the way.
Okay, I'm on.
Alright, climbing. But extend those.
I would. First 2, maybe the 3rd.
Okay. Okay. Okay, clipped. Actually, is there a way to, because now that these are all twisty, how do you make sure you don't back clip?
You can't back clip, the twists are fine.
Okay. Alright, clipped. They twist automatically.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you're saying the next one too? Alright. Yeah, it's just straight above me.
Yeah. You can go right or left if you need to.
I think it would be easier almost to go like this. Yeah, this is fun. So same thing with this one. Yeah. Okay. It's extended. And now quick draw probably for the next one. Oh, there you are. All right, clipped. Take a little break here.
had to wait at this spot because the climbers ahead of me were still trying to climb the final pitch.
Just got to the anchor. It'll be out in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, no worries. I'm just gonna hang out down here.
Yeah, the rest goes fast.
Did you guys link the pitch too?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what we're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty funny how short and like flat this last little pitch is to get to here.
Definitely.
This was a good spot to change the battery of my GoPro, although I almost lost a piece of my GoPro. The little flap that where the battery goes fell off and slid down the rock a little bit. Luckily it stopped and I was able to put it back on. So I was more careful on my next multi-pitch climb.
You too, man. All right, climbing. All right, off belay. Nope. Backwards. Flamer. Oh, really? Yeah, that's actually true.
I can't believe I forgot to pull the rope up. I had to pull it up after I had already attempted to attach my neox.
All right, on belay. On belay. Climb on. How many pitches after this one?
One more really long pitch. Go ahead and give me some slack.
Okay.
So it's 2 pitches, but I'm going to combine them.
Oh, so it's basically 1 pitch.
Yeah.
So this is where I might not be able to hear you then.
Yeah, this is the one where it's hard to hear. Okie doke. Am I pulling on you too much?
Nope.
Okay. You can take me off belay.
So basically, if you make it to the end of my rope and I yell, "That's me," then I should wait like maybe a minute or so before I start climbing.
Yeah.
How long should I wait? Give it a good bit just so you get me on belay.
Yeah, wait like a minute. If you're on belay, I'll pull it tight a bunch of times. Sometimes I'll pull it tight a bunch of times and then let a little slack in, because sometimes the climber is struggling to untie like a clove hitch or something, and if it's super tight, then you don't have time to do that.
Okay.
But
basically, once you start pulling on me repetitively, that's when I know.
We're gonna get pretty close to the end of the rope too, so
okay.
That's another sign that I should be getting close to the end. You have all the draws from your right side.
Yeah.
Okey-doke.
Actually, I got one more here. Here you go. Then do you want the alpine draws?
Yeah. All right. Some rope.
Sweet.
You can unclip that if it's in the way, which it probably will be. So you got me on belay?
Yeah.
All right.
Just give me a quick sec here real fast.
No worries.
Okay. Now I have you on belay.
I'm gonna switch the direction on this. That's a minor thing. But sometimes people will say, like, if you're traversing left, try to have the gate on the right. It's incredibly unlikely that it'll open up.
Yeah.
If it ever did.
Oh, that makes sense.
Because if it was faced the other way and it opened up here, it is possible to come unclipped during a traverse. But like I said, incredibly unlikely. But an easy thing to mitigate in the freak event that it does happen. So I'm climbing.
All right, climb on. Whenever you're ready, I got you on belay.
All right. Time for the Crux pitch, right here.
Part that scares me the most is getting from there to there.
I'll probably try to keep you tight with rope stretch. If you fall, you'll still probably, like if you fell between the first and the second bolt, you'd still come back to this point.
Okay.
But that's as far as you'd go. Climbing.
Climb on.
This is always the part of the climb where I'm like, wait, where did my beautiful frictiony slab go?
And this is the only pitch like this?
Yeah. It's actual near vertical climbing. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and just take that. Boom.
Yeah, you might as well.
Ooh. See how close the bolts are though? I could literally like back clean a whole bunch of them if I wanted to.
What does back cleaning mean?
That means placing a piece and then cleaning the one below. So if I clean this one,
Oh.
I've got this one, then I'm back cleaning. I'm like cleaning as I go.
That makes sense.
Making a very beginner-friendly multi-pitch.
Yeah, good job. I like this one.
My shoes were starting to get really uncomfortable, so I had to find a way to slide my heel out of them, all the while not losing them down the slab face. More importantly, I had to make sure my brake hand remained on the rope.
Having a great ass time out here. I'm on top of a rock wall. About to do the final pitch here. Just waiting to be put on belay. It is so badass being out here. Look at that. Woo! On belay. Ryan. On belay.
By following the silent method, I knew I was on belay, but in my mind I felt scared and like I wasn't on belay because I didn't get a verbal response from Ryan.
He's definitely on belay.
In a moment of panic, I reclipped my pass to feel safe. In reality, I was already on belay from above.
Gotcha a sec. Oh my god, man.
That slip did not instill confidence in me, and I felt scared going into the Crux pitch. Man, I can't believe I aid climbed here. I think I was pretty shaken after slipping and not trusting that I was on belay, even though I was. Climbing is scary, y'all, but that is what makes it fun.
Fuck. Carabiner! How'd that slip off? I lost a quick draw. It slid all the way down to the bottom. Oh well.
Alpine draw?
No, I use my quick draw, not an alpine draw. Yep. So I lost one of my own.
Do you know if it went near the base of the trail at all?
Yeah, it might have. I want to check it out. I think it went a little to the left.
Yeah, we can look for it on the.
Happens? Yeah, it definitely does.
I later found that quick draw, and that was chronicled on my Instagram page with the video called The Prodigal Quick Draw.
That last pitch was the most fun. I couldn't hear you, so I kind of had to trust that you were on belay.
Yep. That's all that. Partner sticking to the routine.
I don't really need a
But
PAS
it's like
here,
we
do I?
said, if you weren't on belay, I wouldn't have had the rope tight. The only downside is sometimes I'll be pulling the rope tight at the same time that you're trying to like untie a knot or something.
Yeah.
So sometimes we fight each other a little bit, but that's usually the worst of it. Sometimes I'll tug a bunch of times and then maybe loosen it just a little bit.
Yeah.
Wait like 30 seconds and tug a bunch of times.
So that tugging is for what? Is for?
Just to let you know you're on belay. Like if you feel
That makes sense.
you're on belay, there should be no other reason to tug. I'm taking you off belay. Right?
I'm not gonna PAS right now.
You're good.
Can you rappel in your approach shoes if you want to?
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Because I'm gonna get those bad
I'll
boys
probably
on.
have us just like simul climb to the anchor.
Oh, there's an anchor up there?
Yeah, I'll show you where it is. So just stay tied in.
Good. I'm gonna stand up and take a video. Yeah, we might as well practice simul climbing too.
If I was guiding, this is what I would do. I would keep the person on a rope. And this
Do you like shouting at the top of places? Woo! I did it!
Kind of stuff is just an over-the-shoulder coil like this. If I'm traveling a longer distance and having to do more involved climbing, then I'll do the mountaineer's coil.
Yeah.
Because it stays nice and tight to your body. But I'll show you how I finish this so that we're connected in just a moment.
Yeah, I'm curious how you do that.
I'm gonna get to where there's like 40 or 50 feet between us.
Okay. And then do you want all my draws too? Or am I going to be leading that?
I'm not going to place any pro. We're just going to be tied together.
Okay.
So that if someone loses their balance, then that'll keep you from tumbling too far. Like, mostly we're going to be on terrain like that we're on right now. Like,
yeah.
We won't even need our hands.
So you just kind of walk up this rough.
But yeah, off to the sides, there's exposure. So this is the kind of situation where leave a little space between us, and then I grab a locker. There it is. The belay loop.
Glow hitch, okay, nice. Sweet. Should I just start walking?
What I would do, I'm gonna walk first.
Okay, you're gonna go
I'll
first.
lead the way.
Okay.
You just follow me. And I find it handy to like keep just like a couple coils in my hand so that if I need a little extra slack, I can use that to get some slack in the system.
Okay.
And as we go, I can like flip it over natural features like that. But then as we go up, the natural features disappear. Like, this is all pretty cruiser terrain.
Nothing wrong with a little bit of safety.
So like something you'll see guys do when we're doing this is like just flip the rope around if there's like a fall potential that way.
I see you sort of natural features.
I was being ultra safe with my shoes unclipped.
I haven't put on my approach shoes yet. Yeah, it's fine.
We can stop if you want.
No, I'm not too worried. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do it on that ledge down there.
So go ahead and stay right there and give me some slack.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's a drop off there.
This is something a lot of times we'll just do on rope, like I said. You staying there while I do this
Yeah,
allows me to belay you over.
might as well keep it safe.
Yeah.
All right. Sweet, could you take the slack out? While you're doing that, I'm gonna just do a little selfie. It doesn't bother you. Try not to get tangled around that rope. Try not to get tangled around that rope. Pretty freaking cool. All right. So you think I should put my shoes on over at that ledge?
Yeah, you can climb over here. Hopefully one for the hike back to the pack.
You take some slack out in the system. There you go. Yeah, my feet hurt in these a lot. I slipped, like got it, took my heels out of them for a bit just to.
Look like you're still kind of breaking them in too.
I just barely bought them, so
Yeah.
this is literally
Is that your feet?
the second time I've climbed with them. Okay. Sweet.
Doing that, I'm gonna put a quick cat knot in and start threading the other end in through.
Okay. Catastrophe knot. You just basically put the catastrophe knot on the other side of the belay device from the
So,
climber.
see how there's an overhand on a bite right here?
Yeah.
Fall, it's gonna catch.
Okay.
So,
How big does that loop have to be on the other side of that cat knot?
I don't know if that's been tested. If it's tight, it doesn't have to be very big at all, but if it's smaller than your hand, it's probably going to be hard to untie.
Yeah.
Under extreme loads, the overhand Not like this though. On the overhand on the bike can capsize over itself. I mean, probably a couple hands length. I just usually do a big old one, and then it stops plenty. You're pretty comfy there. I'm gonna move this, so you're gonna be temporarily off.
Oh yeah, I'm not worried about that at all.
Now we're back on Belaying, and now I have these bottom chain links available.
Worst happens, I'll take a category 5 whipper, huh?
Factor 2 fall, but
Factor
it
2
won't
fall.
really be a factor 2 fall because it'll be there's too much slab. It's not a straight down fall.
Okay, well I've got my PAS.
But yeah,
So this stuff's technically kind of dynamic, right?
yeah, it is dynamic rope.
But you still won't want to fall above an anchor.
Yeah, it's still bad to fall above an anchor. Shock loads the anchor. Multiplies the forces. Should be getting close to the middle line. Yep, there it is. Rope! And you can go ahead and untie. You're in the system.
Yep. So like I should casually lower myself when I get to try to do the rappel.
Yeah, I'm not too worried in this scenario.
There's that end. You want me to tie a stopper knot on this end?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, there we go. There's the stopper knot. You got stopper knot on the other end too?
Yeah.
I figured you would, but I was just double checking, you know.
Yeah. Sometimes when the wind's blowing and I'm worried it'll get stuck on stuff, I don't always put a stopper knot in. If you don't put a stopper knot in, you just need to make sure that
You don't go to the end.
you don't go to the end. Just be extra vigilant. Complacency happens when you don't check or you assume. So if you're used to a stopper knot, so you don't bother checking, and then there isn't a stopper knot. Rope! So yeah, with what I do is, and this rope's a little skinnier, so maybe it won't have the same issues as last time, but there's one wrap, there's 2 wraps,
And then that's the third.
one
Yep.
clips back.
I think I've been doing 4 reps
Okay.
because I think that's what I keep doing.
And I test it, I should be able to pull it up, and it should just like leave a slack, so it should be catching.
So you put your prusik in first.
Yep, that way when it's pulled up and it's really easy to get my device in there.
See you at the bottom. So I should probably go more to the right, huh? Okay.
Sending it every day. All right, that's a wrap. Thanks for watching, y'all.